What do we think of Mapfield? Mapfield.
¿Qué es lo que pienso de Mapfield?
What is crack? It's your boy D-Murph, and we're back with another episode of the Mapfield podcast. Before we get into it, just want to shout out Reraf for holding us down for this series and keeping us going, keeping us locked and loaded with drinks as well throughout the podcast. So yeah, I've got a special guest on this week. One of the most interesting artists in the country right now, doing some cool stuff. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
It's crack. My name is Liam Mccay. I'm from Donegal. I do music under the name Sign Crushes Motorist, and a whole lot of different ones like Take Care and Birthday and stuff. That's all I have to say, really.
So I guess like before we even get into anything, it's probably good on even just a superficial level for people tapping in to understand kind of why so many people are interested in you beyond the music, is that you've got so many different aliases going at once, and they all are doing pretty well, and they're all doing really well. Can you sort of talk a little bit about how many aliases have you got, first of all?
I don't know. It's something like 13 or 14
13 or 14.
Something. It's just hobby. Like,
Yeah. I guess though, like for people that don't know, haven't listened to your music, how would you describe it?
I don't know. I never want to be like, oh, I make sad music, because that's fucking fuck off. Like, yeah. But I don't know. It is about like slow kind of. It's called slowcore. Is one of the genres I would do. It's just a lot of slow guitar, kind of like Duster, if anyone knows them. Just that relaxed, warm is kind of the thing I try to go for when I'm making stuff.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell, I suppose.
Because, yeah, I think that's kind of the thing is like, for me, when I first came across you, it was like, you know, a few TikTok videos that some guy had made. And I'm sure that's kind of weird, almost having stuff made about you, like documenting what you're doing. But, you know, in a way, it's a good way for people to understand the broad strokes of what's going on. But he was basically saying, you know, there's this guy, he's got all these aliases. Most people in the comments are saying, no way, this is the same person that does this. And there's a huge discography you've got going on. But if we're going to wind it right back, what was your first introduction to music? Did you have like parents or brothers or sisters or anything that were introducing you to stuff?
Yeah, I mean, sure, my parents are always listening to stuff in the house. I never really thought about it until recently, but I suppose it did influence. Like a lot of my mom be on to like Leonard Cohen and Johnny Cash and Tom Waits and all them. Like my dad be kind of, he's a bit more of an eclectic. Is that the right use of the word?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. He likes Depeche Mode and all them, but who's the dog that the Tron soundtrack? Wendy Carlos.
Okay.
He has an album of. We took a piss out of him for it at the time, but honestly, sure, good on him. But it was Wendy Carlos making synthesizer covers of like Mozart or something.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. I suppose I've been introduced to a lot of different types of music. But then I was like 9 or 10. I did the tin whistle. I started playing the fiddle. You know, it's like my first time playing music was like trad music, which is good crack. Like I don't really make it, obviously, but you know, it has its place.
Yeah,
I'm glad I done it too. Like I still like to pick up a fiddle now once again. But that was sort of my introduction, I suppose.
It's mad because I think, like you were saying, that you almost hadn't realized like the influence on some of the stuff it had on you. I always felt like that, and then when I actually look back at, I would say I'm mostly into hip hop, but then the outliers to that all have like a really similar through line. It's like, fuck, that's because of the stuff my dad played. That's because of the stuff my mum played.
Yeah, it'd be the same.
The stuff that I grew up on. Like my uncle gave me a load of CDs when I was younger, and they just stayed in the car, and it was a pretty goated mix of CDs. It was like Jay-Z, Kings of Leon's first album, then it was like Nirvana, loaded just like classic albums basically. That really, Gorillaz was the other one that I got. And then when I look back and then I think now what I'm listening to, it's almost like for like, you know, in terms of influence and style and stuff like that. But did you start playing guitar and stuff after that yourself?
Yeah, I was probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I started playing the guitar. I was actually talking about this the other day. It's actually quite funny. Not funny, it's embarrassing. The first song I learned to play was Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD.
No way.
And the second song I learned to play was
I still hear my shadows in
literally.
Your room. Yeah.
It was that one, and then the second one was a song from SpongeBob. So
no way.
That's what I was starting out with. So, but yeah, no, I love doing the guitar, to be fair. I'm not like technically, I'm like the Meg White of guitarists, I feel like.
But I think my favorite artists are not like the cleanest technical players, rappers, singers, they always have like the imperfections that make them interesting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I guess that's fair enough. It'd be the same. It's always nice to hear a human side to to an artist, I suppose.
But what like, so you started playing guitar, that's only 5 years ago. That's not actually that long. What else was going on when you were growing up in Donegal? What else were you into before you started seriously taking to music?
When I was wee, I used to do Irish dancing. 2-time Ulster champion.
Seriously?
No, I lied about that because that's really cool. No, it was. I used to do that. I used to do the ga as well. I was shite at it, but I loved it because it was great crack. I don't know, honestly. I didn't really do much when I was growing up. I just kind of fucked about.
Yeah.
Played my PlayStation.
I mean, where specifically were you growing up in Donegal?
Right, man. Let's not dox myself here. I'm living in Buncrana.
Okay.
Anyone knows Buncrana?
Yeah.
You know.
Center of the universe.
It is for a lot of people. Yeah. People say it's the new, sort of the new LA.
Yeah.
It's the up and coming. It's a bad joke. I made that joke to one of the girls out of Cherham. She was like, "Oh yeah, that's great." I don't know. Sometimes it falls flat, but yeah, I don't know. Just a lot of like normal stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, whatever. Fucking about, like going to school. I don't know. I have no wild, crazy hobbies I used to do, except for the Irish dancing, I suppose, and a bit of trad music. Like, but I suppose that's it, really. What I've done growing up.
You see, when you're starting to make music, though, were you teaching yourself tutorials online and stuff like that, or were you getting lessons, or how was that coming about? No,
I learned how to do guitar on my own. I learned how to like record and like use a DAW, a digital audio workstation, for anyone that doesn't know. Mm-hmm. Which is
educating the kids.
Hey, that's what I do best. No, just like GarageBand or whatever. I use this one called Waveform because it's free, and it's kind of shite, but I still use it sometimes. Or like FL Studio because that's fun. I don't know. I just learned how to do that from like YouTube and stuff. Just kind of went from there. You know, that's pretty much it.
It's interesting though, because like I find, like, I remember interviewing someone before who used like a PS1 or PS2 game to make music and stuff, and you're saying you're using Waveform and things like that. And then you hear stories, you know, Steve Lacy recording into his phone and all these kind of things. People just kind of find their own process, and I love hearing that because it informs the music. Because if you learn in a certain way, you're going to create in a way that's different to the people that are doing it in the traditional way.
That's what I was just talking about today. It's what is it, like limits force creativity or something? Because I was talking about like the free version of Ableton, you can only have like 8 tracks or whatever. And I was like, well, I'll force you to do something with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I used to be wild for like because I knew I wanted to make music, but I never knew how. Mm-hmm. So I would get like wee DJ apps and stuff on my phone. I'd be fucking about with them, making beats and stuff, and they sounded terrible, but like it was still fun to like, oh, I made this. You know what I mean? What
sort of stuff were you trying to make at the start?
I actually don't even know. Just anything.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I used to listen to was when I was like 12. I would just stick on the radio at like 1 a.m, and it would just be like, it'd be like a Saturday night and 1 a.m, like Today FM. They always had this dial on that would play like, it's like house music and like trance music and stuff, which isn't really what I like listen to, but it was like, I could do this. Yeah. Just like they're like really like slow build up, and they just like, they have a drum beat for a minute and then they add in like a bass for another minute, and just one at a time. I was like, yeah, I'll do this. That's how I do it. So like, that's when I was like 10. I was like,
you were that young when you were trying to do this shit? Like,
I never like made anything though. I could just never figure it out. But yeah, I guess so. I had it in my head. I wanted to do it.
And sort of when you're moving into like actually releasing stuff, where were you first posting like stuff? Was it Moonwater? Is that the first alias you posted under?
That was the first one, yeah. That was like supposed to be my main one.
Okay.
I never started out with like, oh, I'll do a bunch of different side projects. I was like, this will be my main one now. I'll focus on that, and that'll be that. And I just got wild bored of it. So
yeah.
But Moonwater was the first one. It's kind of shite, like, but it's a nice start. I did a skit on it where I pretend to be a girl, which was aged wonderfully, of course.
What age were you when you were putting this together?
That was like 3 years ago, so 16. 15, 16, I guess.
And with that, what did you have in mind when you were putting that project together? Did you have some intent behind what you were doing, or you're just like, I've got these songs, I just need to pick a name and throw it out there?
No, I had intent. Well, that first one was just like, I like made a bunch of demos, and I was like, I was like, this is going to be my process. I would like write a bunch of half songs and like pick ones that I liked, which now I just kind of write full songs of what I like. But so I was doing it at the time. I took ages with that like first EP. And I was like, okay, after this, I'll do a single. And then after that, I'll release a crazy concept album, which I recorded and I just never released it because it's kind of ass. But it's supposed to be like, I don't know, it was some weird like shit about a government on Mars or something. Not like, it wasn't supposed to be silly. It was just like they just happened to live on a different planet because it was like space rock or whatever. But that's sitting on a hard drive somewhere. That was like my plan for that project. I did have intent behind it, and I was like, actually, it's kind of not as fun as just doing stuff. I still want to make a bunch of concept albums someday. I want to make one based on that like story, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. You know that one?
No.
It's like this robot just takes over the world, and he keeps like 4 people alive just to torture them for his own pleasure.
Fucking hell.
It's fucking sick. It's pretty, I guess, like relevant with like AI and stuff, because it was like a war, and all the countries like developed their computers to be smarter and smarter, and eventually they just like, one of them just killed everybody except for these people.
Do you think you gravitate towards like darker themes or even escapism and stuff when you're making music?
I mean, a lot of it's just me singing but what I feel. I'm not very clever. I just kind of write down what I'm feeling and then I sing about it. You know what I mean? So I guess sometimes a lot of time it's darker or whatever, but it's kind of just me and how I'm feeling at the time.
Because I kind of get the impression from a lot of your tunes that it's just coming out of you in the moment. Like a lot of it isn't like predetermined lyricism, like some of it might be, but some of the songs feel very like visceral and just like they're coming off the dome in that moment.
There was a lot of stuff on the Take Care albums.
Yeah.
A lot of that was like improvised. I would go into my shed so nobody could hear me, and I would just sing.
Yeah.
Sing and be all sad in there and just do stuff. A lot of stuff I like write lyrics for still, but some of it, it's nice to go off the dome.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And are you on your own most of the time when you're doing that?
Yeah, for the most part. I've been working a little bit differently now this year because I've been doing stuff with Casey, which that's been like more, like I'm not used to like working with a band. I just do all this shit on my own. But like working with him is like, it's a different experience. It's a lot of fun. But usually I'm just like on my own doing stuff, thinking it, feeling it.
See, the thing that I'm really interested in is like where did this change? Because you know, you're saying you're just making the shit in your room or in the shed and stuff like this. When did you start to notice there was an interest? Was it on Moonwater or was it later after that?
Nothing really got any traction, I guess, until I put out the Sign Crushes Motorist album. That and the album called Boyhood. Those were like the two around the same time, and they kind of people dug back to find the lore after that. I'd say so. Yeah. Moonwater has only got any listeners because it's stuff people find it from my more like popular stuff. It's not like not doing numbers on its own. You know what I mean? Yeah.
The thing that's interesting though is kind of like how these projects take on a life of their own almost, and like there's a lot of stuff. That's what I like a lot about it. Like, it's like there's a lore to everything, and there's almost like these communities that are existing online in different parts of it. Like, you know, I went into like the YouTube comments, and man, some of that stuff is heavy. Like, you know, you got people going bearing their soul about what's going on, and it's like you couldn't have possibly even.
Do you see me in the replies?
Yeah, I've seen you.
Losers, cheer up. That's what I say to all of them. I'm joking.
It is mad how it's taken a life of its own, and like sort of, you know, even saying about people making videos about you and stuff. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, they're not doing it enough. I think every video I see should be about me. Sorry. I was born like this, man. I can't help myself. Yeah. No, I think it's cool that people do that. Make videos and stuff. Like, it's strange, I guess, hear people talking about me because it's not like, I'm not like a famous guy. I feel like you know that too, but it's just, I don't know. It's cool. It's nice to see people have their own takes on opinions on stuff too. One thing that pisses me off is when people put up the lyrics and they put them up wrong. And I'm like, that's not the lyrics. And they say, actually, no, I'm pretty sure it is. And I say, fuck you, man. It's me. I know. I wrote these.
People actually come back to you and say,
yeah, because they don't know that it's like me talking about it. Because I don't have like a big brand or anything. I just go on my YouTube account.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are the wrong lyrics. And they're like, actually, no, they're not. I'm like, look at my channel. It's me.
What are some of the weirdest unsolicited messages you've got from people?
Someone called me beefy dick once, and I don't like that, man. I'm not like a sex guy. Fuck off. Also, because they were probably like 15, so I'm like, I'm not even touching that, man.
Yeah. I imagine you have quite a young audience.
Yeah, I don't really talk to
Yeah.
a lot of people on Instagram. I'm not like that, I swear. Anyways, I don't know. I had a girl send me her tits one time. I was like, I just blocked her, and I was like, I don't like that. Don't do that to me. I don't know. Just stuff like that. It's just like doesn't really sit well with me.
Yeah.
I get people that are like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself because your music. I'm like, fuck off. Like that's not my fault.
That's wild.
But like I just don't want to respond to that. Stuff like that usually makes me feel weird. I'm like, don't do that.
And I guess that's like the other side of it, kind of moving into places out of your control where it's just like reaching people and having like an overall positive effect from what I can see. You know, people are really latching onto it and having it as something that can comfort them, like journal it. Because like when I'm looking through, like, you know, you've said you've been inspired by Duster and stuff like that. When I was listening to your music the other day, I was like on the bus and it was like proper bringing me to somewhere else when I was looking out the window. And some of the comments on like the likes of Duster are kind of like, this is the type of music that's something you put your own music video to in your head. Yeah. Do you have that sort of relationship with your own music when you're creating it?
I don't know. Actually, I guess so. I like think of video ideas sometime, but I don't really like. It's like a separate thing for me. But listening to Duster, sometimes I would get the same way. I'm like, this is like, I think of my own shit, you know. I don't know. I don't like sit down and think of a whole opera in my head. And
yeah.
The music starts flowing out of me or whatever. I just like write. It's in my head, I guess. I don't really understand the question. I can't.
It's more like, are you thinking of the visual language of the song as you're creating? Are you thinking of what imagery it conjures up?
Honestly, not really.
That's kind of mad to me because like some of the artwork for the trilogy and stuff with like Take Care feel very aligned with the music, and maybe you're doing that after the fact, but I was sort of thinking in my head that they're almost interlinked.
I mean, for the first album, the music kind of came first, and then I had the idea of just having the 3 photos. Because I took a photo of my friend Kieran, that's the third album, the guy with the big curly hair.
Yeah.
I took that one first, and I was like, okay. And then my friend took the one of me. I was like, oh, this could be like album covers. And I just took the one on the Reject album cover too, because I thought it fit with everything. But like when I'm making actual music, I don't really think about that. I take a long time picking an album cover. Like that's something I really, really think about a lot. I don't even take most of the photos, but I just like, I want it to be perfect. But like when I'm actually making this stuff, it's more just about the feeling and like the production and like the warmth of it and stuff like that. I don't really think visual stuff in my head when I'm like doing music. It's more just like a feeling, I suppose.
Yeah. And do you think there's different, because to me it's very like feelings led, a mood led, a lot of the music, rather than like, I think trying to put it into genre kind of is a disservice to what you're doing because it aligns with certain emotions. And if you're saying like, oh, it's like this, it fits into this box, it's not really a good way to describe it. What do you think that there's different moods or feelings associated with each alias, and is that how you choose what goes where? Or what's the process for that?
Choosing like what goes where is more, I do that like, I just like kind of make the music first, and then I get like very inspired by like a certain genre, like a certain album, and I'll just like start making music like that. And then I'll have like 5 or 6 songs like that, and I'll be like, oh, this could be like an album or a thing. And then I kind of like think about it. It's more like, I guess it is more like feeling than anything. Like if it feels like it should be on this project, I'll put it on. You know what I mean? But I like to, a lot of it is just, I would feel weird putting it all on like the same name. Like I guess Umbrella overall, it's like not that different, but to me it's pretty different. And like each like separate album is like a specific, you know, way I've been feeling in my life and my mood and whatnot. So I guess that's how I separated out.
Because when like Make It's Rib Show, like that's definitely a different feel to like.
Bro, I keep
spilling beer over yourself.
It's the second time it happened. You better be showing you when that happens.
But that like I heard somewhere that you're talking about being inspired by the Deftones when you're making that. You can hear the like sort of grisliness of it and stuff. With the guitars. Yeah. Is there any other records that are directly inspired by specific musicians where you really got into someone and then you're like channeling that into that album?
I made one called Carson Clay. It's like trap stuff. It was like more a joke than anything, but I fucking love Black Cray so much. And that was like, I don't even want to say that he inspired it because it's like, I'm not anywhere near his fucking level, but that definitely did inspire that whole thing. What else? The Birthday album, Boyhood, that was really inspired by Shoo Shoo.
Yeah.
I Promise, that album. And then there's this other guy. It's actually tragic. He like died to like suicide like 2020 before I even used music. It's called Epistat Commander, which is also the name of a Shoo Shoo song, but it's the name of his like artist thing. But that he has like one album that like really inspired my own album too. There's definitely a couple of those. I'm trying to think now.
I actually think it's really cool how like referential all of that is, because you know your name is a Duster song name.
Yeah.
His name is like from a song from
Shoo
another
Shoo.
band.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
And there's kind of like a lineage to what's going on there, and it actually makes it kind of convenient to be able to find where the inspiration's coming from and stuff.
It's nice to see. Yeah. I guess sonically the inspiration for Make His Rib Show was a lot different than him, but Make His Rib Show is a line from a Lil B song. That's where I got that. So
It's,
a reference to my goat, man.
Clams Casino produced it. What's it called?
Hit him with the P9, better than Make His Rib Show.
Yeah.
God.
Yes.
I got my TYBG tatted right here. Thank you.
Oh man, no way. Have you ever spoke to Lil B?
No, I spoke to a bot on his Instagram, but I never spoken to him.
I feel like he DM'd me, but he definitely has bots running that stuff. Like he DM'd me maybe years ago.
I mean, it might have been him.
I mean, if it was him,
I feel like it's not all bots.
no.
I don't know. I got to meet him someday. He's a personal hero of mine.
Well, why?
Because he's like one of the most influential guys. I don't care, man. I used to laugh it off. I say, what, Lil B?
Yeah.
Most influential of all time? Nah, no way. I put him like top 10 influential hip hop ever. Him and Soulja Boy, man. I don't care. I'm right.
In terms of like democratizing music and just like how and the internet and stuff, you mean?
In terms of everything. Man.
Everything. Just swag.
Soulja Boy in terms of internet, but Lil B just in terms of like, he's like the first weird rapper.
Yeah.
No, you talk about like Andre 3000, whatever. But like,
ODB and stuff as well. He's the first internet weird rapper, I'd say.
But Lil B was like, he's always just been doing him.
Yeah.
Which like obviously rappers that do that, but like he can rap. He's really good. I love him. And crazy beat selection.
The beat selection, yeah, for sure.
Insane. Also one of the best diss tracks of all time.
What track?
Joe Budden, T-shirts and buttons, recorded and released in 13 minutes. That's insane.
Man, that's crazy. Like the amount
Bet you still jack off with your butt cheeks out. How can you get a better diss than that, man?
You can't come back to that.
You just call him an old man. You better get Rogan, man. Like, it's so good. Just call him a bald old guy.
I definitely think there's something like I definitely gravitate towards the weird side of rap more than anything, you know, like the Danny Browns, the Flatbush Zombies,
sure.
like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, who else are you into in rap music?
You ever hear this guy called Kanye West?
No.
Damn, that was my fuck. I lost my train of thought.
That was your only rapper you like?
Yeah, I kind of don't like it. I think it's I'm gonna stop right there. I was gonna call it an urban genre.
Oh my god.
No, I'm joking, man. That's what Casey told me one day. He called it urban. And I was like, hold on, man. What are you, white?
Wait, so talk to me a little bit about that connection, Casey, because there's a fucking.
Also, I love rap. I'm joking about that, by the way. Before we move on,
because I feel like there's that connection to the likes of Ye and you know fucking Westside Gun and Travis Scott that he's worked with as well. How did you meet him?
one of the executives at Columbia hit me up last year and was like, "Oh, he was trying to sign me and whatever." I was just talking. And then I was in America in January. And he was like, "Oh, come to Atlanta, bro." And I was like, "Okay." I thought he was gonna like try and sign me or whatever. So I went to Atlanta. He was like, "I'll text my assistant. I'm not there." So he just wasn't in Atlanta at all. But I texted his assistant. She was like, "Come to this address." So I just showed up to this house in like North Atlanta. It was, and Casey just opened the door. He didn't know who I was, or he didn't know I was coming.
What?
I didn't know he was gonna be there, and he was just like, "Oh, what's up, man?" And we just did a session.
No way.
And it was sick. Actually, no, the first night we just sat about, honestly, because this girl Molly Santana was there, and we just played beats for each other and stuff. And then the second day we like made a song, and it turned out really well. And then I went home and whatever, and we were like, "Okay, let's fucking keep this going. This is actually sick." So Casey came out to Belfast. He was here. He was here in March.
I seen on your story you was outside like the Duke of York, and I was just like, "This is just just like world class." And I was like, "Why is this guy here doing?" And yeah,
it was pretty funny. That was like what he put on his story too. He was like, "Straight to the pub, the Irish way." I was like, "Shut up, man." But no, he had a great time here. He was here for Paddy's Day.
Yeah,
and for whatever reason, it seems like all of Belfast's most beautiful women were walking about that week that he was here.
Okay.
So he had a wonderful time. We had a great time on Paddy's Day. We did some great stuff. We recorded a lot of stuff. We were in a studio on top of the Radio Falcha building. It's like Studio First, in Belfast or whatever, which is class. Shout out to Dara for running the thing. But that was great. We got a lot done there. And then I went to New York, recorded stuff. And we're like sending stuff over and back. And we kind of got it finished up like a month ago, honestly. And now Columbia's fucking us over. It was supposed to be out yesterday. That was our original plan.
No way,
August 30th. So we could actually no, it's supposed to be last Friday.
Because I was gonna say I think I remember seeing something about summer anyway.
Summer 2024.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be end of August at the latest.
Record label bullshit, like.
I don't chat to me, but sure. Say nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess like what is that kind of music? Because I remember I watched that interview. You were talking about the college radio one with you. I watched that a while ago, and you were saying, basically saying you would never do hip hop or anything. I know you were saying about like rapping and stuff.
I said I would never rap.
You would never rap. Okay.
Which I also kind of did, I guess.
Did you?
I've like got an old trap project too.
Okay. Yeah. But how did this come about with Casey, and what is the sound that you've got going on? Because to be honest, on paper, these are not people I would put together.
It's like it's like pop almost, but like rap. Casey can fucking rap, man.
Yeah.
He's got some good ones. I want some like gospel shit on there. It's like a real mix, but it's nice.
And are you producing most of it?
It's like 50-50.
Yeah.
In a lot of the ways.
And it's a collab album, like.
Yeah. That's also why it's taken so long to get this shit sorted. But yeah, no, there's some good rap songs in there. We got some good singing, some a lot of happy ones, some sad ones. Casey's a very encouraging guy.
Yeah,
so much fun to be in the studio with. He's like, "Oh, it's great," just like it's like just feels good.
Because it seems like he's tight. Like he's have that like real relationship. Like it's and you haven't really collaborated hugely with before this.
My first time being in the studio, like working with someone, was a guy from Argo Nuff. And that's, I got the album cover tattooed there. So that was fun, but it was like the first time doing it, I wasn't like used to it, because it kind of takes like practice, to do that. So it was, I feel like I've gotten better with it, especially with Casey.
Yeah.
I'm glad I've been learning to do that with him because he's very encouraging.
Very experienced, I imagine, as well. Like for people that don't know who he is, like maybe talk a little bit about what he does and what sort of artist he is and who he's worked with and stuff.
Casey is, I don't want to ride his meat too hard.
Yeah.
Because I consider him a good friend of mine, but he's like written like the majority of Donda.
Yeah.
He's made Kanye cry with his fucking reference tracks, man. Worked with Travis, fucking Rocky, like everyone. I don't know. He's like respected, great guy, really good rapper, incredible producer. Also like, I don't know. He's a real all rounder. He's like really good at like the creative, like visual side of shit too.
I guess working with someone else, what have you learned from doing that? And especially someone who's maybe as experienced as that you hadn't had before.
Honestly, the biggest thing I learned was like, oh, I didn't realize it, but I was like putting myself in a box. I was like, I can't produce anything other than like this kind of music. But now I'm like doing fucking rap and shit, like producing, which is sick.
Yeah.
You know?
Suppose you have your own sauce when it comes to that as well, because you're coming from a totally different world.
See, that's what it is. It's nice, especially because I'm like new to it too. Like some of my favorite stuff I made when I was still like learning how to do stuff, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's just like a different. Do you ever see that thing where it's like, I don't know, what was it again? It was this teacher like got these wains to write poetry before she taught them any of what poetry was, and it was like this really like raw kind of stuff. Man,
when you don't know the rules, almost
exactly, it's just a different kind of thing. So that's been fun, especially I come from a different angle. Like I didn't really watch any like YouTube or anything this time to like learn how to do it. I was just like, oh,
because I think that the nature of hip hop, especially in rap and stuff like that, is people are gonna have maybe been raised on trap or something, and they're gonna be really influenced by hip hop artists and stuff like that, and mimic and imitate in a certain way. Whereas yes, you like rap and stuff like that, but you're coming with your own experience on how to produce music. There's even a guy Seabackle from Portrush, but he lives in Belfast, but he would have made like sort of, for lack of better words, like lo-fi hip hop, and then he started making some house music, and it's got that like dusty kind of feel and sample heavy stuff, but it's danceable. It's almost like lo-fi music to dance to. It's got its own sauce, you know what I mean? And I think I imagine in my head that this stuff coming out will have its own kind of like whole mood.
Yeah, no, I really like that kind of approach of like that's why I love Yeezus so much, man. What do you have Chief Keef singing on one of the songs?
Yeah,
like that's crazy, man. I've
actually got a playlist on my phone called Artists Out of Their World that I've been building. And
that's what I was talking to Ian the other day, and I was like, I want to get you singing on a song.
You were talking to Ian?
Yeah, he's on the new album.
No way.
He's
mad.
Fucking such a chill guy.
So were you in the studio with him?
Yeah, and I actually didn't know who he was. He didn't know who I was. He just like he'd like just gotten signed by Columbia, so I guess the guy was just like, come to the studio. And recording. And he just went in, and like I didn't even know he was there because I was like a little bit out of it, but he was just like recorded a verse, and I was like, oh, sick. Before I even knew he was like in the studio. Or, like,
wait, how long ago was this?
This was like March. He came in. Actually, I'll send you the song after.
I
can't play it on here.
Yeah.
But it was cool. But I really like that. There's this guy. He opened for us in Austin actually on the tour, but it's called Young Wabo. Fucking such a chiller, but also like good musician. But he did rap for like years, and now he's starting to do like indie or like kind of rock shit, and it's like really cool. Just like even from a production side to see that like coming from a different angle. I don't know. I like it.
Do you know Gene Dawson? Yeah.
Fucking love it.
So have you heard that song where Earl Sweatshirt's singing? It's called like Bad Fruit, and it's Earl Sweatshirt singing on the track, and it's like that kind of shit that you're talking about, where he's clearly just pulled him into his world and been like, I want you to sing on this track. And
that's what I'm trying to do. There was this, I haven't replied to him in months now, but there's a boy that manages this guy he's like some Florida rapper. And he was just like, yo, we're just trying to get some different sounds for the mixtape. And I was like, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to try and find out DM and message him back. But like, just getting like some Florida rapper to like sing or some shit.
That's the
or even just
shit,
rap
man.
over like a crazy beat. Like that's just what I want to hear.
Because even like, I think Tyler's been quite good at that. Like he had a couple albums where he had like Playboy Cardi on stuff and Lil Wayne on stuff that you wouldn't normally imagine them on.
What was the one on What's Your Name? Was it Youngboy?
Yeah. Yes, NBA Youngboy. Crazy. Like that was really unexpected.
So good though, just to hear him on like a different kind of beat. It's like really nice. That's kind of what this Ian one is like too.
Okay.
He's already moving away from like trap stuff because like he's like, I don't know, some people hate on him. Man, Fantano doesn't fuck with him.
But Tyler doesn't fuck with him either, clearly.
That was so fucking funny. We were all chilling, me and Casey and a few other guys. We were in like Long Island whenever that whole thing happened. Because Boo, I don't know if you know Boo TM at all. He was the guy that like, he kind of tried to start beef with them then. He's the exec that took me to the house or took me to Atlanta. But we were all just chilling. We saw this Boo posting like, hey, at Felicia the Goat, I'm from Atlanta and I signed Ian and all this shit. We were like, well, what the fuck happened? And we saw the video. And we were just dying laughing because, like, why the fuck would you do that? Because he didn't even mention Ian by name.
I know.
Obviously, it's who he's talking about, but like, he didn't mention him by name. And then this guy was just trying to start something, and we called Ian's A&R, and he was like, Ian, he's shooting a video right now. I don't have the heart to tell.
No, Jesus Christ. I think that must be like such a shit feeling as an artist, though, to have another
someone you look up to be
like all the stuff aside, that must be shit. I mean, it's a whole different conversation, like in terms of like cultural appropriation and all that kind of stuff. But sure. It's fucking interesting. But pulling people into these different worlds and doing that different stuff, that's the kind of shit that really excites me. Like I love this group. They won the Mercury Prize last year, and I'm trying to remember Ezra Collective, sorry. And I seen them last year, and it's kind of like, you know, Afrobeats, jazz kind of stuff. And they had Novelist, a grime artist, and they basically recreated grime music with jazz and had him go over. It's like 140, and it's just like crazy. It's that kind of stuff I love. But you see, navigating all this stuff as an independent artist, you don't have management or anything, do you? Not really, no. Not really. Like, and you're not on a label.
Nah.
How has that been? Because I managed an artist for a while, and it's so overwhelming when you're having inquiries, stuff going on, and even just, you know, it's very easy to get taken advantage of and stuff as well. That's kind of why I don't have management or on a label, so I don't get taken advantage of. But it can be overwhelming, I guess. I just don't reply to a lot of people. I don't know. That's probably the easiest way to. I don't really get like that many inquiries for like stuff that I actually care about. I don't really get that many. Yeah. It's kind of just people I know I like to talk to. Suppose you have like a lawyer or something though that they can help with that stuff, because that's the difficult thing where it's like, no, if I ever have like a contract and you look at it, I'll get a lawyer. Yeah. I'm not smarter than a lawyer, like, you know what I mean? No, I definitely would take advantage of that. But it's, I don't know, once you get into that, it like starts to feel like it's an actual like thing and like a job, and it's like, this is like important, like don't fuck it up and all this, which I don't really like. I just like, I don't know, just take it in hand. I like it, to be honest. Yeah. Who knows? I was going to say, like, how much time do you actually put into making music? Because I'm assuming this is like your full-time thing at the moment. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I do. It's like a hobby. Like, I do like to do it every day, just messing about on stuff. Yeah, like it's not work. It's not a job. You know what I mean? It's just fun. It's kind of cool though that you're coming in with that mindset and trying to protect it almost, because I've seen so many people get burnt out and really not like making music after a really short period of time of taking it seriously. See, this whole Columbia shit is like, I'm starting to understand why people are like, oh, I hate making music. Yeah. Like some Cardi B put up something, she was like, oh, back in Atlantic Records retention center or detention center, or like a prison shit, and people were like giving out to her, but I'm like, I kind of understand. I'm starting to understand this shit, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like, even if I wasn't before, now I'm definitely not going to sign because this shit's like too much. And has there been those opportunities to sign to labels and do all this kind of shit? And was there ever a moment where you thought, oh, maybe I'll do that? There was like one label, they're called 10K Projects. Yeah, is that Mike's label? No, I'm thinking 10K Global. I'm thinking, I mixed that up. That's like management. I've seen 10K Projects. 10K Projects like Ice Spice. They did 6ix9ine. Yes. Before they dropped them. Yeah. They're very good at what they do, and that's like the only reason I would want to sign with them, maybe, because they're good at what they do, but like I don't want to be famous. Not yet, anyways. Who knows? Why not? I don't know, man. I have enough money. I'm relaxing. Yeah. I have some good people in my life. Yeah. I don't know. I'm, in terms of music and, you know, artistry and fame, I'm pretty content right now with where I'm at. Could change. Maybe I'll want to be a big guy someday, but right now I'm just relaxing. Because I think it was what we were talking about before this started, kind of like that. I think you're at like kind of a really sweet spot where you're obviously making enough money to get by. You enjoy your music. You're still. I mean, hey, you see this watch? got the Asics on. Got the watch on. No, these are no Asics, man. I spent a little money on my shoes. I know nothing about sneakers. Like, you could. I'll say nothing. But you know what I mean? It's kind of like you're in that sweet spot where you're still pretty prolific and putting out a lot of music. You're still enjoying it. You still have full creative freedom over what you're doing. Yeah. And I guess is that the goal, is to maintain that, really? Honestly, yeah. I'm like, I live a good life. Yeah. I can just do stuff. Yeah. I don't have commitments, really. You know what I mean?
just like normal stuff, obviously, but like I'm
like it's mad to me when you're even just talking about, oh, I just went to Atlanta, just went to New York, just went to, like, that kind of freedom to be able to do that kind of stuff
fucking
is
class.
Yeah.
Just go about, like, I don't know. It's good. I always feel good when I do something like that. I just go. I went to Toronto for like a day just to see Ian's concert. I can just do that.
Just because you can.
It's a lot of fun. That's what I like. I don't have like a label guy being like, you should go here now, go here next. And we're going to coordinate a meeting with you and these guys. And then, you know what I mean? Like, and just go see my friends.
Yeah.
Talk about, you know.
And what about your family? What's their understanding of what you do? Do they get everything that's going on?
I don't know. It's probably a bit mad to them, like, but sure. They're a grand way. Like,
yeah.
You know, they're supportive. They're not like.
But they know that you're an artist full time and they know.
Yeah. I've told them that I'm taking a year out of college, but I'm not going back.
Oh, okay.
But sure, I'll say nothing.
So it was the plan to go back and then you've just decided.
See, the plan was to just get a normal job and keep this as a hobby, but then it's fucking boring. Like,
man, why could you go to a normal job if you're like getting to do that? Like,
that is good crack. Like, just because like I like having friends that aren't musicians because it can get very exhausting sometimes. But yeah, I don't know.
Because something I noticed straight away is like that kind of, and I was kind of touching on at the very start, is kind of that fascination where it's like, oh, this guy, look how many streams he's got, look what he's doing this. And it's like a very superficial way to look at what you're doing as well. And I was wondering, is that exhausting? Is that tiring, like having that sort of attention in that way from labels and stuff like that, when really you're just wanting to have fun and do your shit? And that's almost impossible nowadays with music, I think, because you'll be getting that kind of attention from the industry.
I mean, I kind of just said no to all the labels, and I feel like they just kind of know.
They know now.
don't hit me again. You know what I mean? Or they haven't like tried, I guess. Sometimes it can be like, man, shut up, man. I'm just having fun. Don't be like talking about the streams and stuff. But it's not like tiring. Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Like I know it's not real.
Yeah.
All this shit is real.
What are some of your favorite experiences? Hey, you just like hopped over to Toronto. What are some other things that like you've just had the pleasure of being able to do since you've been financially free with music?
We went on a US tour last year. So much fun. Or not last year, fucking this summer. Last month. I'm a dumbass. Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun. Like really a lot of fun. Some great people with me. Yeah, super chill.
What was good about it though?
Getting to see the country, getting to hang out with my fucking friends.
Were you on a bus or were you flying?
No, we had a van, just driving about. We had a tour manager to drive us, so I could snooze in the van. Yeah, what could be better? No, it was great. I don't know, just getting to see stuff, eat some different foods, meet some cool people. Yeah, we had like, it was us three, me, my cousin Michael, and Gabriel, my friend, are the three guys. We're playing tonight in Center. But then we had a bassist from Connecticut, Sarah, and we had Olivia O. I got the necklace on right now. She was selling these as merch.
Oh, nice.
Olivia O. She opened for us. So just a good group of people. They could like show us some American stuff, I guess.
What's life on the road like?
I mean, it was fine. We didn't have to drive, you see. That's what was great about it. We could just sit.
Yeah.
Just get
You're not even old enough to drink in America though.
I don't chat to me. Okay, I'm always gonna give out about that. Like even when I am 21.
It is mad.
I know. Must get a fucking fake ID sorted quick. But yeah. No, it was good crack though.
You toured with Crywank before?
We did like a wee short one. It was just a solo one. It was me on my own, Jay on their own, and then just being.
I used to work with Jay in Manchester.
Nice.
Yeah.
I must say that now.
Yeah, because I worked in this venue called Albert Hall, and it was a really cool spot. It's like an old church, and they were my manager. And I didn't know about Crywank. Like, I was really not super into music. I was into music, but not super into music. Yeah. I was maybe only 18. So there was them. There was Dan that also is in the band still. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to remember.
Dan used to work there as well.
Yeah, Dan worked there as well. Then there's a guy, Jack, goes by Rainy Miller, who's like worked with like Blood Orange now, was working there. Nice. Another guy, Henzo, who's working with like it was looking back on it now, there were so many amazing artists came out of it. For my birthday, I remember I had a party for my 21st, and Jay, give me a vinyl of, what do you call the one with the dog on the front?
I know the song from his Memento Mori.
Memento Mori, yeah.
I don't know if that's the album.
They give me that on vinyl, and I've got it, and I spin it every now and then. Like, so, I thought that was really mad. You know, when it's like worlds colliding. When I seen you return with them. Yeah,
no, that was a good experience too. That was very chill. That was like 6 shows.
Yeah,
we did 2 shows and a day off. 2 shows and a day off.
Class.
So that was also, England's like way smaller than America. So
yeah,
it's like 2-hour, 3-hour drives at most.
So, what is your plan when you're taking this year out? I hope your man watches this podcast and gives you a scolding after.
Mommy, I'm sorry. He's fucking lying. He put me up to it. Nah, it's I'm just gonna take it handy, really. At least for a while, anyways. I was thinking about getting a manager. Boy does my publishing, Connor, fucking great guy. Loving the bits, like, and he's like he's really been helping a lot with this Casey album. But I was gonna take him on as a manager, but after all this, I feel like I'm gonna stay like 6 months just to be on my own.
Yeah.
Lock the doors. Just make some stuff that no one's really gonna like except me. Which is kind of what you have to do sometimes. Just like, hey, if Lil B can do it, I can do it.
But are you gonna stay in Donegal, or are you gonna go somewhere?
Oh, I'm moving to fucking California. That's my plan. No, I love Ireland. I'm really glad that I'm Irish. Like, but it's depressing. And what am I really gonna do here?
Yeah. In
terms of music, you know what I mean? There's some good like rappers and all around. But
yeah.
No one, I don't think.
It's just not. You just need to get out, and move on, kind of.
Yeah. Big time. You know yourself.
Why? So, whereabouts are you thinking of going in California?
Probably LA. I mean, so why not?
Are you gonna become an influencer when you go over there?
I feel like I already am. I influence everybody in my life. You show up to the gig, there'll be at least 6 people wearing this exact outfit. That's how we roll.
I seen you got given a cake. I follow an Irish fella, Emma Parr, on Instagram, and I've chatted to him a few times, and he got you a cake or something when you were playing in LA. Maybe I'm making this up. Maybe, do you know when just all things blur into one?
You know, Emmett.
Yeah,
I don't think he got the cake. I think he did. Actually,
I just seen it on a story.
I think he. Oh no, it was the venue got us, but he was there.
You know when you don't even know how you know people, but I know him and I've spoke to him on Zoom a few times. And
he's
stuff.
friends with your man Connor. I was just talking about.
Right. Okay.
That's how he was there. But holy fuck, he was telling us some stories that night, and Michael, my cousin, plays the drums. He was in actual tears. He was like, I haven't laughed like that in years, because he's a good wee storyteller. Like, but no, it was the venue got us a wee cake, because he said, anyone who sells out the venue gets a cake from us. And I said, that's why good he is. So that was nice of him. But Emmett was there too.
Nice. Have you had any mad people turn up to any gigs before?
Do you know your man Ecstasy?
The rapper, sort of get rock, rap, sort of, yeah.
Call it like pop punk nearly.
Yeah.
He's awful sound, but I still have never met him in person.
Okay.
Because we've always just, our paths have never aligned.
Yeah.
But he came to the gig and then he left when we went off before the encore because he thought we were done, and he went home. I was like, where the hell did you go?
He's a fake fan, that's why.
No, he's a fucking dumbass. Fucking love him. Like, he's such a lovely guy, but he just like went home straight after that. I was hoping to see him after the gig, but he left. But he's like huge.
Yeah.
I could just see him fucking standing in the crowd.
So you mentioned Ian as well. So I feel like I didn't even really zoom in on this, but Ian being on the album, is there any other features you can talk about, or maybe ones that didn't make it to it?
See, we didn't want to have any like big features. He did that verse when he had like, I don't know, maybe like 200,000 or 300,000 monthly listeners or whatever. So like it wasn't a huge thing, and we were like, that's the way we want to keep it. Because, like, I don't know, Casey was talking about getting Rocky and all this and on it, but we were just like, nah, let's keep it. This is like supposed to be our start, our first album. We have a couple of great features. This guy called Khalil. I saw him play in New York, his first New York show, and it was like, it's the best show I've ever seen.
Really?
Really, it was like a small room. I think maybe 50 people were there. It was like watching The Weeknd in like 2008, 2009. It was like, I've never been in a show with that kind of energy. I was like, I don't know. It was insane. So he's on the album. He did some drums on one of the songs. He sings on one of the songs too. He's a really good singer. There's a girl called China. Sounds like, you know China?
Yeah.
Sounds like Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
She's on a couple of songs. Really great singer. I only met her once, but she's lovely. I think that we got some good ones too. This guy Brinks. We got some guys, some good producers and stuff. So no, it's a good project.
Nice.
I'm proud of how it's turned out.
Well, hopefully it comes out soon.
Here's hoping that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see.
I get a bonus for this, or what's the sure? Finish the whole can. Must be good.
I guess, is there anything else you want to plug? Like, is there anything else going on you want to talk about that we haven't talked about?
Let me think.
Because I know, I just feel like some of these stories you drop where you're like talking about collaborators and the albums and stuff coming out. There's bound to be other shit you've got going on that you've almost forgot about.
No, this isn't a plug. This is if anyone watching wants to help me out. I want to do comedy stuff. I don't want to do this music shit forever, man. I want to get into comedy, writing, and comedy acting. And I'm looking right down the lens, so I hope it looks like I'm talking to you. Any comedians out there, man, bring me on. Give me a chance. I don't really want to plug anything, man. I just go listen to my shit. Go listen to, I don't know, go listen to Dead Calm. It's my favorite project I've done. Go listen to it. And you want to plug? Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. Like,
I want to talk about that guy Jordan from Belfast.
Oh yeah, so
shout out to him.
Yeah, so this was the thing we were mentioning earlier. It's like hidden in plain sight, kind of where you're pretty massive online and you've got a big following. You can tour American shit, but a lot of people don't even know you're from here. Like that is there's artists like Eden, exact same. Like I put up a video about him recently. Yeah, how it's crazy that this is happening, but I think part of it is because people aren't centering like Irishness as their identity, which I can think can be kind of corny sometimes to like center your whole thing around that. Like you can just be an artist from Ireland.
Yeah.
And when you call yourself like an Irish artist all the time, it's almost like relegating you to a category below.
It's like it's not a genre.
Yeah, it's not a genre.
It doesn't really matter. Like fucking My Bloody Valentine were never like great new Irish album coming out.
Yeah.
They just make good music. I don't know. I feel like if I did that, it would be like in the same vein as like those people that just like specifically make Irish comedy.
Yeah, talking about Catholics and Protestants over and over and over
when
again.
You're Irish, mammy.
Chicken fillet roll.
Oh, hi! Don't get me started on a spice bag.
It really pigeonholes you into something.
Irish mammy, and she says pepper sauce or gravy. Have you guys? I don't even fucking accent I'm doing here.
It's painful seeing that shit, and you see it like people like Cillian Murphy on the red carpet. And the first thing someone asks them is like, "Does your mommy ever live with immersion on?"
I actually fucking deck somebody. If I was at the Oscars, if I won a fucking Oscar, and that's what they were asking me, what was it like working with all these? Hey, what's Christopher Nolan like in the bath or something? Like some weird shit like that would be way better than like, oh, what do you think of fucking? I don't know. You ever listen to fucking news talk? What do you think
is
of
like
that?
a massive crazy circle jerk though. Like that's kind of one thing that put me off doing certain media things, was just like it's just the same shit over and over again being recycled, and I just can't be fucked with it. But the thing with Jordan blowing up, like that's crazy. Like
I didn't even know he's from Belfast.
Yeah, but the thing was he was making like weird hyperpop Jersey club shit, not weird, good shit like before. And
he's making weird fucking music. We don't fuck with it. I'm joking.
People making stuff that isn't Dermot Kennedy adjacent pop music, it's weird.
You got the power over.
I actually can't hack the Irish radio. But anyway, the thing that fried my head was like he was blowing up and no one in Ireland was talking about it, and I was like,
literally,
this is like
it's like
the easiest
Joe.
It's like the easiest tap in though to just be like, this guy's doing well, let's celebrate it, and they can't even do that.
Yeah.
But Sexy Drill, like, I just can't imagine it. I know the Cool FM's played it, but I just can't hear it on Today FM than being like, yeah, I don't know.
Next up, we got, I don't know, maybe they could.
Maybe one last thing then, we'll do a few quick fire questions. Favorite artist in Ireland right now?
I mean, it's always going to be like My Bloody Valentine or someone. But
okay.
I mean, I found this by last night. Osa.
Okay.
This guy.
How's it spelled?
OSA.
Okay.
I don't know. Just like raps and like some kind of like cloud beats, which is pretty cool. I'm not tapped in yet, but I'm going to listen to him soon. Favorite album of all time? You know what? It's okay. like a clown for this. It's Igor by Tyler the Creator.
Of all time.
Of all time. People say, oh, what do I fucking schizoid man or something. I say, nah.
Why?
2019, for whatever reason, it's the fucking best album I ever heard.
Why is it your favorite?
I don't know. It's just a crazy mix. It's like emotional, but it's like really engaging, and it's like, I don't know. It's crazy. You can do that shit live. People can cry and people can lose their fucking minds at the same show. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Have you seen him live before?
No.
I seen him.
Really wanna.
I seen him his last show before he got banned from the UK. It was in Manchester.
Damn, when was that?
I'm gonna say like 2015. I was at university, but what happened was I was a proper stan of Odd Future at the time, and I remember like literally going into town being like, I bet you I can find him. Like I was like 18 or 19. I was like, I bet you I can find him. And I was just walking about, and obviously I didn't find him. But as I was leaving, I was looking on Twitter, and Jasper was like, has anyone got a University of Manchester Wi-Fi password? And I was at the uni, so I give it to him, and I'll find the thing and we'll put it up here. I'll screenshot it and put it up here. He replied and was like, oh, thanks. And I was like, oh man, could I like meet you after the show? And he just blocked me. And I was like, oh my God. And then I went to the show, whatever. And as I was leaving, I was really drunk. Jasper was like walking across this balcony.
Fucking love Jasper. Yeah.
And I was like, here, I give you the fucking Wi-Fi password and you blocked me. And he was like, oh, and he was really drunk. So he came down and he gave me some golf wang socks. And then Tyler came out and I got to speak to them both. Nice. So it actually kind of worked out in the end.
It did work.
Yeah.
You still blocked?
Yeah, I'm still blocked. But it was worth it for the free socks. I've got them in my drawer.
I reckon so.
But that album, amazing. It was so unexpected. The mix of tunes.
Yeah.
Amazing album.
It's just, I don't know. It's just perfect for me.
Yeah.
I have like, I'll say 4 albums that I would give a 10.
What are the other 3?
Stratosphere by Duster. Blonde by Frank Ocean. These are all the most basic choices you can get, and probably like Death Consciousness. Have a Nice Life.
I don't think I've heard that.
Oh, you're missing out.
Okay,
it's like very depressing.
Okay,
it's really good. You know the guy lying death to Marat. He like got stabbed in the bath or something. It's the album cover. I don't know. Really basic choices.
That's good. We'll check them out.
Anyways,
But yeah, man, thanks so much for coming on. This has actually been one of my favorite podcasts so far of the season. Really enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, like I feel like you've got a career in comedy once your music
I
career.
brought like a whole bag of tricks that I didn't even get to use.
What were they?
I'm all into like prop comedy. I don't know, just like these little things. You ever watch Carrot Top? He's a big inspiration for me. Okay, if you don't know who he is, that falls flat.
Yeah, but I can't wait. You'll have a gig soon. There's going to be someone that watches this that'll give you a gig. Like.
That's what once I get to LA, I'm just going to do open mics and bomb because I don't fucking care.
But yeah, man, thanks so much for coming on. And just a reminder, anybody that got this far, like this shit, whatever platform you're listening to, subscribe, follow, engage with it in whatever way you can. It really helps out. And yeah, like, Pete, thanks for coming on.
Also, we do have a P.O. box you can send checks and cash to.
Yep.
Always appreciate it.
Yep.
It's good to be on. Fucking yahoo. Cut that out.
No, we're definitely keeping that in.